This week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways, I'm off on my own adventure, camping by myself in my car. Where things don't seem to go according to plan. And on the menu, sourdough blueberry pancakes, so stick around. This is Wade, and I'm Angel, and this is Iris, and we are Pole House Black Pot's Weekend Getaways, where we show you all things yummy to cook in cast iron as we visit different places.
Well, welcome to Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways. If you've been watching us for a while, you will know that we missed last week. We didn't have any video.
We're doing things real different this week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways. Don't know what's on the menu at home, which is where we're gonna be cooking. But I'm headed to a conservation area. We want to explain Missouri's conservation areas and why we like them so much.
And we had quite a bit going on in life things. And one of the biggest reasons we didn't have last week's video is, well, we'll let Angel show you and tell you.
Like my new accessories.
So what happened to you?
I was looking for new campsites, boondocking sites in Missouri. And I went camping at a state park in Missouri, and they had a concrete parking structure on a concrete pad that I was camping on. And I missed it, and I fell flat on my face, and I wound up breaking both my wrists. Good news is I don't have to have surgery. Bad news is for the foreseeable future, I will be in these accessories. So, that being said, we've gone to Iowa.
Okay, so where we're at is not quite to where we're going to be camping. We're going to be camping up here just outside of Iowa City, Iowa, kind of here in the central part of the state. And we stopped off at a place called Kinze Manufacturing. You get out here real quick, I'm going to show you where we're at. This is actually the Kinze Innovation Center. It's kind of a little museum that you can actually go take a tour and see kind of stuff. What they mainly make is grain carts, where they, of course, Iowa is a big part of the grain belt, mainly corn and a lot of soybeans. So we thought we'd have a free little museum in here, and thought we'd go in and take a tour. We got plenty of time before we have to go to campsite. That is a really cool old school drill press and an old school metal cutting bandsaw. Another neat piece that I really enjoy running and seeing. Older school metal lathe. This is pretty interesting. The Kunz made tractor with not just one extra big Detroit diesel, but two Detroit turbocharged diesels. Plaque here, 5020 636 horsepower. Date was 1974, and it's got 2 of those 636 horsepower engines. And they had video of it here a little bit earlier, pulling 12 bottom plow. Well, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it?
Now that big tractor they got in there, tires almost as tall as we are.
Yeah, they actually made that along with lots of other things that they made in there for testing and doing different things with lots of stuff with it. Of course, everything tied into agriculture.
Yeah, but the thing that I thought was most amazing was, you know, he started this business when he was a young child by taking apart a toy that his mom had bought him.
Yeah.
And putting it on something else.
Yeah. Then getting into building go-karts and stuff like that.
It said in there that you're never too old or too young to be inspired. I thought that was an interesting way of saying that.
Yeah, that was just a museum up on top of the hill. It was the visitor center, so I don't know what all it's like, but this is a pretty amazing place if you're inclined to anything with outdoor and the agricultural and the cropping part of the world. Why, this is a great stop in here. It's right on I-80 here in central Iowa, so
it's worth coming and seeing.
Yeah, so I think that's it for here. We're gonna head on. We only got to go a little ways east, about 20 miles or so, and we'll get to our campground for the next few days.
Take the next left onto Kent Park.
Well, this isn't our good day, is it?
Okay, we have made it to our campsite. Now, may not look like F.W. Kent Park. That's because it's not. We got there and well, I did look at the website earlier this last couple weeks ago, and it said that they had campground hosts up through the middle of September. And I said, okay, that's fine. It's like Missouri, you know, all summer long, the state parks have campground hosts, and then there's just nobody there to do anything, you know, for assistance during the winter time. But it always so said that there was no reservations that you could make. You just first come, first service. Like, perfect. We'll get up there to Kent Park and we'll set up camp because we will have plenty of room. Because on Wednesday, which is actually when we're here, because we should have plenty of places to camp because there's like 80 some campsites there. But unfortunately, found out they're actually closed for the whole season till spring. So we looked around a couple different spots. They were not available for Friday, Saturday night. So I was like, well, we hate to move, you know, go 2 nights and then move for 2 more nights. So, oh, Iris says hi. Hi, Iris. Hi there. You saying hi? Yep. So I called our friend Dustin, and he said, you know, this is where our situation is. And he said, hey, just come on up to Cedar Rapids. That's where we're staying. We live. You can stay in our yard. So that's where we're at. So we've got a beautiful yard here. We're camping out, set up right out here, and he's even got a beautiful fire pit spot. Extra firewood over here. Barbecue grill if we need it. Hooks we can hang up Dutch ovens on. Nice big workspace over here. So, needless to say, he's got us fixed up. We got a long extension cord. We got some power. So, he's even got a doggy here that Iris can play with. He's come and gone. We'll show you a little bit, maybe him later. His name is Nigel. So, all right, we're gonna get ready to get kind of finished getting set up camp, and then we got a couple more things to do because we have to start our sourdough starter because it's an easy sourdough pancake. So we'll get that done here in a little bit, and I'll show you how we do it. Okay, we're gonna have the very beginning part of our easy sourdough blueberry pancakes. So to do that, we have 1 cup of flour in here. That's it. It's It's pretty simple. 1/2 teaspoon of this regular plain old salt.
I don't want to come out of there.
I think we're getting about out of salt in this.
There's another one in there.
Okay. Plus now I'll get a little more out of there. And 1/2 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Okay. Now we're going to mix that to combine. The last thing we have to do is 1/2 cup of regular old room temperature water.
Now this reminds me of something different.
Well, I stole this whole idea from our easy sourdough recipe, and all I did, it has 6 cups of flour, so I cut this flour down to 1 cup and then cut the salt and the yeast down to 1/2 teaspoon and then the water down to 1 cup.
You see where she's at, right? Right next to her dad.
Excuse me, 1/2 cup of water. And now, it's like the sourdough bread. We'll link that sourdough bread recipe in
the description.
Because when we do the sourdough, basically all we do is do like that. It comes together. Then we stop. And we'll put a lid on it, let it sit at room temperature anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. And then if it was the sourdough bread, we just kind of plop it out in the grease Dutch oven and bake it. But tomorrow we're going to add to this to make easy sourdough pancakes. So I'm going to clean this off a little bit, put the lid on, and we'll see you all in the morning.
Morning, dear.
Morning, hon. Morning, everybody.
Wade's been up and made coffee already.
Welcome back from last night. We have got our coffee made. Sit here and relax a little bit. It's a beautiful, little cool morning. We're not used to this kind of nice, cool weather, and well, it's supposed to, or late September. Well, no, it's not late September.
It's early October.
Yeah, it's early October. Time goes by so fast, but we've been having some warm weather down in Missouri, and
yes,
it's going to be a little bit warm today up here too, but not too bad. But at least this time of year, you get warm days, you get some really nice, cool nights. You don't get to near the sun angle or near as much sun, daylight hours too. So yeah, we got a coffee made, and showed you last night that we had that sourdough starter. So since we started it yesterday, and we're going to use it all up today, that's kind of what I guess we refer to as an easy sourdough. So kind of easier than have to try to worry about keeping starter going all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not quite as intense of a sourdough, but you could leave this probably another day or so, and then make it and use it up, and it'd still be pretty good.
At least a day. I wouldn't go much more than that, or it'll be too sour.
It might be, yeah. So, but you can always experiment with that. But we're gonna relax here a little bit, drink on our coffee. Iris is eating her breakfast. Right, Iris? Yep. And then we'll get our breakfast going. So we'll see you here in a bit. Pancakes. Okay.
Pancakes.
Now this is a 2-step process of wet and dry. So we're going to start with the dry, get them mixed up. And the dry is pre-measured, measured it earlier, 1 cup of flour and 1/2 teaspoon each of baking powder, and I always try to I don't have a strainer out here, a little strainer, so I kind of try to break it up. Little clump of baking powder or baking soda, pretty nasty, in the middle of your pancake. Okay, so 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Out there in this wind, I think I'm going to be wearing it. And let's see, sure it's all broken up. give it a quick little mix. Make sure our dry ingredients are mixed together. Now that our dry ingredients are mixed together, we're going to set them aside. And now goes to the wet. And we're going to start with, make sure my recipe's up there right on my phone. Okay, we're going to start with this sourdough starter. Wish you could smell it. Look at there. Nice and bubbly and rising.
Oh yeah.
We're going to start with this sourdough starter that we made last night. And we're going to put 1 egg. Okay. Let me get my big towel. I made a mess. Okay, we'll kind of mix that egg up a little bit. We could have mixed this egg and milk in a separate container again and mix it in, but I didn't want to make another mess. Okay. A tablespoon of sugar goes in with our wet ingredients. Okay. We're going to mix that in. I'm going to start mixing in all this with our sourdough. Now the sourdough is a little gluey, kind of rubbery. You see it kind of, it's kind of messy right now, but it'll come together. Okay. And then we have to have some melted butter, 2 tablespoons. You don't want it real hot because you don't want to start scrambling your egg, but it's not that. Kind of slowly drizzle it in and stir it. Okay. That's. And then the last thing is going to be 3/4 of a cup of milk. Okay, we'll kind of mix that together. And last thing is mixing in our dry ingredients. Stir it in carefully. Now we had thought about, and we haven't done that, thought maybe take away from the sourdough. You could probably try a little bit of vanilla in here too, but we haven't done that. Thought we'd like it this way.
We like the sourdough flavor.
Yeah, the idea of doing sourdough pancakes is to do, we can taste the sourdough, so we did not add the vanilla. But we considered it, we decided not to. Now, this will get mixed up, and we're going to let it rest a few minutes, and it might be that we have to adjust our, just add a tiny bit more milk. We'll kind of see if it's pourable enough. We want nice pourable but fairly thick batter. And you don't have to over mix pancakes. Kind of like a biscuit. If you overdo it, it kind of gets tough. But what do you think, huh? See, it is a little rubbery.
Yeah, it is, but it looks
But that's
good.
the way this pancake is going to. But it'll still pour out good. And we're going to let it rest, and we have to add a little bit more milk. That pretty much is all there is to it.
Yep.
There. Now we're going to let this, we're going to kind of cover it. There's a wind blowing, and we've got stuff running around here. We may end up getting a leaf or something in it, so we'll kind of keep it covered. Let it rest probably, we're going to let it rest probably about 30 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to probably fry some bacon, so we've got to have a little bit of protein to go with it, and then we'll show you how to fry these pancakes up. We'll be right back. And I'm going to get it fired up, get it warmed up, and we'll get the pancakes going.
Here, hand it here. I got this one going. Okay.
Okay, while our griddle was heating up, I went ahead and looked into here, and it was a little bit thick, so I added about 2 or 3 tablespoons. And it's still a little stringy. Oh, excuse me, 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. 2 or 3 tablespoons of milk to thin it just a little bit so it's pourable. And you will notice it's still a little bit stringy because it is sourdough, but that won't hurt it. It'll make it good. So as soon as our griddle gets a little bit warmed up, we'll be getting this cooking.
The camera ain't gonna tip over, is it? Do you need some cooking spray, dear?
Okay, we're cooking some thick cut bacon to go with our pancakes. So we're kind of cooking it along slow so it gets done without burning it. So now we got our griddle here, and I'm going to get it fired up and get it warmed up, and then we'll get these pancakes going. Okay, I think our griddle's gotten good and hot. Now, you can use cooking spray, which is usually what we always did, but I've kind of learned, I kind of figured out that to make a nice crispy edge around a pancake, it's better to use a nice blob of butter. Now, pour our pancake out. Now, this griddle is not the biggest in the world, so we've got to kind of do it in small batches. We're probably going to do 3. I think that's about all we're going to get. Now, since it's being a little thick, probably not be perfectly round, but it's okay. Now, if we're making blueberry pancakes, there's a stem. You want blueberry stem. Blueberry pancakes need fresh blueberries.
Wish you guys could smell this.
Hard to beat fresh blueberry pancakes. Now I had plans, and I didn't get it done, of making like a lemon. They call it lemon curd. It's kind of like a lemon pudding almost. I think IHOP and some of them places actually serve that you can get. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh, better get them flipped. Try not to make a mess. I didn't do perfect.
Well, we're camping. They don't have to be perfect.
Nope. They're a little messy, but they did work. Okay.
I tell you what, when we're ready to serve, we'll be back. On this channel, we show you yummy, delicious, and interesting things to cook in cast iron, most specifically Dutch ovens. Do you know we have a cookbook? It not only shows you great tips how to use your Dutch ovens, but it gives you our first 2 years of recipes. They're $20 with $6 shipping and handling. You can get those at Pole House Black Pots, P.O. Box 212, Fayette, Missouri 65248, or on Venmo.
Yes, in the Venmo, look up Pole House Black Pots on Venmo. Get out of there, but blueberries in there. Oh.
It was hot.
That's right. Go ahead and eat it. How is it, hon?
Oh man, they're good. They're better than they were last time.
Well, last time we just made regular. We didn't put any blueberries in
I
them,
know, but my first bite didn't have any blueberries in it.
Oh, really?
And it tasted better
That's
then.
because we cook it outside and we're eating outside. Everything tastes better cooked outside.
Oh, it's so good. May not be pretty, but they're good.
Yep, mine's a cooking over here. It's almost done. I figured out that's the only trouble with this little griddle. It's great, but you just can't hardly get a big amount of pancakes on there and then make them work good unless you do one little bit bigger one. But that's kind of a pain too. So, but it's all right. Still good eating. Mine's done, and I forgot to show you. We melted some butter in that little pot. So we have nice warm butter on there, and then we didn't have either way to heat up the maple syrup, but we used some pure maple syrup, even more better. And I put my bacon back on there to kind of warm it up a little bit. So there you go. Beautiful sourdough pancakes, fresh blueberries, and some thick cut, freshly cooked bacon. Excellent breakfast.
Well, nothing left but shrapnel. Wade didn't even have any shrapnel left on his.
Oh, man, those were some wonderful, homemade, easy sourdough pancakes. You should try next time you want something good.
And you gotta remember, anything you cook on your stove or your oven, you can cook in a Dutch oven or a cast iron skillet or whatever black pot you got.
When you're out camping.
When you're out camping.
Eat just as good as you can when you're at home in the comforts of your kitchen.
And it tastes better outside.
Yes, a little bit more work. Maybe not quite as fancy or as pretty, but it seems like just like a hot dog. It always tastes better outside than it does cooked inside in the kitchen.
We hope you liked this video. Didn't quite go as planned.
Well, that's all right.
But if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, which is a like. Share us on Facebook or Instagram or whatever your social media site is. And what else do they need to do, Wade?
Share us on Facebook. Oh, you said that. Oh, subscribe. I'm sorry. Yes, you gotta subscribe.
And next week we're continuing our trip to Iowa.
Yeah, we're gonna do some exploring around Cedar Rapids. And we're kind of in German country, so we're also gonna do a German apple cake, right?
One we've never done before,
So we'll see how it comes out. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.